I'm not a big fan of Steve Jobs, personally.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I just don't understand what the big deal was with that guy. I don't get it.
He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff that everybody. What are you talking about?
But did he? Did he sit down and I'm going to invent the iPhone and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla, tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of told people what to invent. He just kind of came in I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert, and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it.
It's the craziest rant.
It isn't, though.
Craziest rant.
I don't like, and the way
Do I walk out on this show with all the writers and stuff? No, and I never will.
All right. But you don't. Just the way he advertised. Jesus, Gandhi, me. I just thought that was a little. The first one never worked, and 4 months later, all right, here he is. Here's the one that worked. Yeah, it bugged me. Gee, do you think I was trashing the president or something? You guys are really pulling back
It's
here.
worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy.
So, where do you go from there? Well, as I mentioned last time I came through town, I wanted to get a gun. I do. Yeah. But I finally given up on that. I gave up on that dream. My wife doesn't want me to get one, so. Yeah, she didn't want to. You gotta pick your fucking battles. I'm gonna learn how to fly a helicopter on the sly. I can't fucking have some 357 hanging around. I'm doing whatever I want, all right? When I say go, eat it, right? Can't be that person. No, it bums me out, because all I wanted to do was just I just want to get a 22. That's all I wanted. Perfect gun for home protection. 22 caliber. You laughing at that, sir? That's not enough? I don't know. I'm down south. What do you think? That's not enough, right? You want your shotgun, right? 44. You guys are out of your minds. You're out of your fucking minds. Let me ask you, all you gun guys, right? Who are gonna make fun if I had a 22? What's with your 22? That little queer gun? Do you keep it between your buttocks? Is that the holster? Is that what you do with your gay little gun? Yeah, you need a big gun. All you fucking guys. Let me ask you this, all you guys with your guns. Have you ever shot the fucking thing without earplugs? You ever done that? Or you like most people, you take it down to the gun range, you put your earplugs in, put your headset on, take it out of the briefcase. You got your little yellow tinted fucking glasses, right? You look at your spread or whatever, and then you put it back in there, right? You ever shot that thing without fucking earplugs? Because that's what's going to happen when that intruder comes in. You're not going to have time to be, hang on a second, let me just you're not going to have time. Dude, I shot a 5-shot 38 one time without earplugs. Okay, I was landscaping this guy's yard, right? He comes out at the end of the job, he goes, hey, I got this 5-shot 38. You want to go down the street? There's a burned out car, maybe we take a couple shots or whatever, You know what's funny? Every other state is fucking dying laughing at this point in the joke because it's so goddamn ridiculous until I get down to the South. And you guys just sit here staring at me like, all right, so what happened? Pretty standard. I thought this was going to be a comedy show. What is it? You're reading from your journal? I don't understand what it's not a real compelling story. I'm mowing a fucking lawn and a stranger comes out with a weapon and says, let's shoot it at a burned out car. Okay? Jesus Christ, can we agree on that? So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Fuck it. So I go down there. Never shot a gun before. I bring the gun up. I point it at the car. I pull the trigger. I saw the muzzle flash. I felt a kick. I never heard the gun. I pulled the trigger. All I just heard was, ooh. I shot the gun 4 more times. Never heard it. Didn't get louder. Didn't get quieter. Just kept seeing flashes. Woo. All right? So let's take one of your fucking guns. All right? Let's just say, for the sake of argument. All right, you got that thing sitting on a nightstand, loaded. Right? For God's sakes, tell me you have it there. Don't be one of these people that has, like, the gun here and the bullets there. You got the thing fucking loaded, ready to go. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. This is when the psycho's coming in, too, right? That's when they come in. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, they don't come by at, like, 6:30 at night as you're cutting into a pork chop. Hey, I'm out of my mind. I'm coming back in 20 minutes, so stretch out your hammies because it's going to get crazy. Right? That's not how it works. They wait till you're dead asleep. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, right before REM sleep is kicking in. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, all you gun guys, you got your thing loaded, right? Your piece, right? Right there, loaded for bear. You're lying there, you know, same scenario, right? One leg under the covers, one without, shirt. 4 o'clock in the morning, you just... Meanwhile, some psycho sneaking in through the living room window, right? He brings in a fucking sickle. And he's just listening. Listens all the way down that hall and he just hears... He's trying not to squeak on the floorboards. And you're just fucking lying there, right? All of a sudden, that little dog on the floor is just like... What's the matter? 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 What? Huh? Oh, you hear something? What's the matter? What are you barking for? He's shaking. What's the matter? Huh? You hear something? What's... Come on, man. Quit fucking around. I gotta go to work tomorrow. All of a sudden, boom, that door flies open. You just see this shadowy figure. You pick up that gun. Blow! Ooh! And you fucking miss. You miss. You can't see. Now you can't hear. That's 2 out of 5 senses. What are you going to taste him as he comes around the bed? You're still going to be shooting over here. Meanwhile, you see like this strobe-like psycho coming around the fucking bed. Takes off your head. If you had the 22, you could still hear. Your ears would be ringing, but you could hear that fucker coming across. And you could shoot at him and he would leave. He would leave. You guys just won't get off the fact that it's a fucking 22. You're like psychotic with this shit. All right. No. I will extend an olive branch to you people. Okay? I get it. It's that a 22 is basically a roided up BB gun. I got it. Okay? I understand that if you actually want to kill somebody, you have to basically have the gun up to somebody's head and be throwing a jab as you pull the trigger. I understand that. Okay? But I maintain, I don't care who the fuck the toughest person is in this house, okay? I could defend my house with a BB gun. I don't give a fuck how tough you are. I don't care. If I started shooting at you with a BB gun, at the very least, you have to go back outside and regroup. That's a fact.
So, anyways, there's been, the Me Too movement has happened since the last time I was here. Well, no, it had to happen, Jesus Christ. But, I think it's dying down. I don't know, I think they got everybody. Just judging by the stories, I feel like they kind of got everybody. Because the first stories that came out, they were fucking unbelievable. It was just guys taking their dicks out at work, like, look at it! Fucking blocking doors and jizzing on plants. You're fucking at home watching, Jesus Christ, people did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was masturbating. He was masturbating vigorously. I'm thinking in my head, like, as opposed to what? As far as I know, there is only one successful way to perform that act, and that would be vigorously. Is there another way to do it? Can you do it passively? You know? Is that how Sting does it? Is that how he's able to fuck for hours and hours? Fans a little air on it. He puts on fields of gold. Just lets that thing rise up. Just letting it marinate, right? Yeah, so the stories were big in the beginning. Like, oh my God, what a bunch of fucking animals. And then they just started tapering off. And about, I don't know, 6 months in, they just sounded like bad dates. It was like, he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story. You have a dick and balls, we don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women, right? It's a little open-ended, huh? Just straight across the fucking board? All of them? Every last fucking one of them? What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, that's the world we're fucking living in right now. No, everything has just become fucking absolutes in the States. It's fucking nuts. Like that Colin Kaepernick guy, right? You knew when he was like protesting during the national anthem, no one was going to listen to what the fuck he had to say. No matter how much he explained it. He goes, I'm taking a knee during the national anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through and people are like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit! It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I had a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't see a fucking podiatrist. All right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? Did you read the story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out, you know? No.
It's nice to be back here down in the South, man. I had a real weird experience last time I came down here. I was in Nashville, right? Sort of an awkward social situation, right? I'm sitting at this bar. There's this white dude sitting like 2 stools away. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. And that Terrell Owens story was in like sports news. So I try to make conversation. I'm like, man, look at this guy. This guy just signed a $40 million contract. He's already bitching, man. How much money do you need to make? And the dude looks at me. He's like, you know what I say? And then he looked over his shoulder, which I now know is the telltale sign that the N-word is coming, and it's coming hard. Oh yeah, it's not going to be pronounced with the A, it's going to be with the R, and he hit the R, he like stuck the landing. There was like a dismount, Klan members high-fiving in the background, like doing the wave. Just out of nowhere. So now, immediately, I'm looking over my shoulder like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like this hail of black fists to come raining down on top of me. I hate when people do stuff like that. That dude made me part of like a potential ass kicking that I had nothing to do with. You don't do shit like that. He just had that word, hot potato, just threw it in my lap. Like, trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive into it. That dude was one of the angriest people I ever met. I should have known that word was coming, because he was just watching Terrell, right? Anytime I would bring up, look at man, that guy's talking trash, he would just like flip out. He won't shut up! You know those people get like so mad they're not even looking at you? Their eyes are up, you just shut up and play the game! You know what's funny? I don't even like Terrell, but now I love the guy. Because every time I see him talking trash, I know this idiot in Nashville is just losing his mind, like kicking over his kitchen TV. Shut the fuck up! I like violence, man. I am. Not like when it happens to me or if I see it live. I like watching it on TV, you know? Watching people, you know, get attacked by animals. Just get blasted in the face or something, you know? Like, I'm a huge sports fan. You know my favorite, like, moment of, like, the last year was in sports? That Detroit Piston, Indiana Pacer bench clearing brawl. Wasn't that great? That was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. I was so confused when I watched ESPN that day. They were like, that was absolutely disgraceful. Basketball fans, they just must be... I'm sitting there looking like, I'm a basketball fan. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed watching out-of-shape civilians get the shit kicked out of them by professional athletes. It was fascinating. And I think as sports fans, we kind of had it coming, right? Because how many times you gone to a game, right? You got a little too drunk, you started screaming at some dude on the field who could clearly kick the shit out of you, right? If you saw him in the parking lot, you'd be like, hey, can you sign my stamp collection? I think you're awesome. You get in the game, you're all drunk, you're like, you suck, buddy! You're a piece of shit! And they're always calling him up, come on up here! No, come on up here! Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down, you don't just stand there like you're watching a movie like, wow, it's coming right at me. Must be in 3D or something. That was a 5'6", 110-pound white dude, had an angry 6'10" black dude running right at him. That had to have been in his top 3 nightmares all time. Right behind getting his dick cut off and being lit on fire. And he just stood there. He's like trying to explain himself. Well, I still have the liquid in my cup, so there's no way I could have... He's an idiot.
I'm trying to get in shape, man. I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. Brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's what I realized about myself. Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, feathers yanked, uppercut to its jaw, just in order for me to survive. I'm trying. I saw this thing, though, that they said if everybody went vegan. If everybody went vegan, though, it would be vegetarian, whatever the hell they said. One of those V ones, right? And they said it would be great for the environment. You know, because I guess there's all this cattle standing around, and when they fart, the gas goes up in the atmosphere and causes something. You know, if everybody went vegan, the air would be... If everybody drove an electric car, if everybody just had some snowshoes on... Nobody has the balls to come out and say it and just say, look, 85% of you have to go. You know what? You're full of shit. You are. All those feminists are full of shit, because I'm going to tell you right now, someday there's going to be the first woman president, which means you don't even know what her fucking platform is, and you automatically cheer. It's got the same genitalia. I'm telling you, they're not smart people. Feminists, they're not as smart as they're coming off. I'm telling you. Someday, there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady. And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists. They're all going to be, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady. I don't mind that people use roids. I think they should use roids because they're using themselves as guinea pigs, and it'll all trickle down to us one day. And after they messed up, you know, their heads get all big. I'm saying by the time we're 80, they're gonna have like a steroid vaporizer that you can just inhale, and you're gonna have abs. I'll get a full head of hair, and you're gonna be banging some hot 65-year-old. And it's all gonna be because of these athletes and the sacrifices that they make that no one appreciates. Those guys in the 70s, the stuff they took in the 70s.
Oh, in the 70s, the steroids were crazy.
It was like horse tranquilizers. You came out with like a mane, just slapping children around.
They didn't have a mane. No one had a mane.
Some people would argue that.
So it's good for the sport.
I love it.
Like I dated this girl one time. She was like really into like women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault?
Surprised feminists haven't had a problem with the French language yet.
It's like, what's this gender? There's no such thing
why
as
is
gender.
la maison? Why is the house feminine? Is he saying that women are supposed to fucking stay home and fucking cook for you? And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up, holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of it.
Have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that is. It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I find you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning. And then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the ropes. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant orange mustache. And you're like, you know what? Why don't you take some of that shit? It's not down, it's in here. They try to take it. It's in here. You do something good, you feel good. You do something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath and you'll... ESPN on one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. So let's talk white women here, shall we? Let's talk white women. White women, amazing your accomplishments over the last few years. I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijacked the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color.
not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it. I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay? I don't. But let's go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to? Thank you.
I don't know. But I actually like Los Angeles. One of the few East Coast people that likes it. All my moron New York friends and Boston friends, they come out there, try to get a good slice of pizza at 4 in the morning. They can't. Like, this fucking place sucks. It's not like exactly where I left. What's the point of traveling if it's going to be different? They're so fucking stupid. Get a burrito and go on a hike. What's wrong with you? You're going to go to Hawaii? There's no pond hockey. This place sucks. I got to admit, the only thing that freaks me out about Los Angeles is all the plastic surgery. I don't get it. Why do people get plastic surgery? You know? Why can't you just admit it's over? You know? You had your time. Stop trying to look fuckable in your 50s. It's weird. With their faces yanked back. Looking all shiny, right? Not to mention they haven't even figured it out. You know? Why would you get a facelift? Can't you look at other facelifts and realize they haven't worked all the bugs out yet? Right? That's what you want to look like? Like you just lost a fight 3 days ago? Don't be a hero. Let somebody else go in there. Take the fucking beats. You lay back. Wait it out. They're just lying to people. I know, looks great. Put a little ice on it. We'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, take it easy. Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened? We followed every step. Did we miss something? Oh, hey. Oh, here's your keys. There you go. Almost didn't recognize you. You look so young. All right, take it easy. She gone? All right, she's gone. All right, shred everything. Shred it. No, you're nuts. You wait it out. Let them figure it out. Then you fucking go in. Don't be a goddamn hero. You know? Look at hair plugs. Hair plugs don't look half bad now. Saw this guy the other night on TV. He's like, oh, God, I wish I did this 10 years ago. It's like, no, you don't. 10 years ago, when they were stapling ant legs to the top of people's heads. Remember that? Your eyes would water looking at their hairline. Like, is that sewn in? I see pine tar. They used to put you in like a headlock. Hold still. Use like a nail gun. Hold still. Guys would tap out after a row and a half. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. You wish you got hair plugs 10 years ago. Do you wish you got polio 60 years ago? What else is on your wish list, sir? No, you don't fuck with your face. Okay? I understand liposuction. They screw that up. You can put on a shirt. Right? There's no shirt for your face. Who do they think they're fooling with their stupid, you know? And then you lie to yourself. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna have this done. No, you're not. You're not. What are you? You're just gonna wax the fender on your car? Then that's it? And the rest of it looks all shitty? Well, maybe I'll just do the hood. And maybe I'll do the back. That's how it happens. Then you look like one of those Real Housewives with face all twisted up. Fucking idiots. Do I look? Yeah, they're idiots. Do I look like I'm in my 20s? No, you look weird. You look fucking weird. You still look like you're in your 50s. I just can't guess what year anymore because I've never seen that year. I've never seen that shiny fucking look. It's almost like you discovered a new age between 52 and 53. Yeah. People, there's nothing wrong with being 52 and looking 52. All right? You're 52. You didn't get fucked. Yeah. What would you rather be, 52 and look 52, or be 52 and look like a 28-year-old lizard? Right? That's your options at this point. So we figured out the number one thing we fight about is television, you know? I watch sports, she watches those Real Housewives, you know, it just doesn't work out, you know? You guys have the Real Housewives out here? You do? Yeah. It's just, I imagine it's just the most depressing fucking thing ever. Isn't it? Those women, they just look so fucking exhausted, you know what I mean? They just put the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to fucking tuck it in and fucking, like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp off the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just fucking sit down. Put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're fucking old, you know? So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television. So I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both like? We both love documentaries. They're fun, right? You watch them, you learn something, you repeat it at a party. People think you read. So I tape, you know, first one I tape is on Elvis Presley, right? Now, I love Elvis, okay? He fascinates me. He's like the first rock star with the power of television. They just intersected, and he went to he ascended to this level of fame that no one had ever been to before. Hence, he made all the mistakes because there was no one there to help him out, right? He got a piece of shit manager that stole from him. Bam! He stopped making music, started making shitty movies. He's not a good actor, right? Does that. Married a minor, started doing drugs, got fat, got an entourage, got even fatter, started wearing onesies, doing karate kicks, splitting his fucking pants. Nobody's saying shit. You look good, King. You like that? You like when my royal balls hang out? We love it, King. Keep fucking going. Starts doing pills, gets addicted. He fucking dies alone on a toilet. Right? This man kicked open all of those fucking doors for the rest of us. Right? So I sit down, and I'm watching this documentary as a white dude, which is what I am. I'm looking out my white head, watching this white shit. It's coming back into my white eyes, getting whiter by the fucking second. Right? Now, my wife, on the other hand, she's black, right? Now, I hate saying that because it makes it seem like I'm going to start doing some stupid comparison jokes. You know, those dumb white guy, black guy jokes? And it's always like the white guy's like, oh, Jesus, I gotta do my taxes. Can this chair hold me? The black guy's always like, you need to loosen up. You gotta relax, man. You just gotta let it happen. Right? It's always the same stupid fucking joke. I hate those jokes, you know, because they're easy. And it's been my experience that it's just not true. You know, 15 years of being with her, there's really no difference, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a woman. It's gonna be the same fights. I don't give a fuck who you're with. I'm not gonna lie to you. There might be more head movement and hand gestures with different races of women. Possibly an index finger jabbing at your forehead, whatever the fuck that is. But at the end of the day, it's the same fights. What's going on with us? Do you need to work on this? Why don't we communicate better, right? So she starts watching this shit as a black person, right? And she's seeing all the racism, obviously, that I'm seeing. But she was catching all this subtle shit that I was too white to see, but I knew I was missing it, because I just kept hearing her huffing and puffing, just sitting next to me being like, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this fucking white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190 years old, and he comes out, starts talking. He's just like, well, basically, I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was subtly putting black shit down here while he was propping up the white shit. You know, the down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like fucking steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I just fucking shut it off, right? And she looks at me, she's like, why did you shut that off? Why did you shut it off? I was like, because you're about 3 minutes away from yelling at me like I produced this music. Right? Let's just forget it. We'll watch something else. She's like, no, why can't we just watch the rest of this and then discuss it afterwards? It's like, I don't fucking do that. I just want to watch a documentary. I don't want to have a fucking lecture because of these fucking assholes. I didn't do anything. I'm just sitting there watching TV. And not to mention, we're just going to get into an argument. She's like, well, why would we get into an argument? I'm like, ugh. All right, you know why? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit that I didn't agree with, you know? I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a fucking idiot. And she just looks at me, she's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? And at that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the fucking sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, fuck, here we go. Guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right, the black guy who brought up leg shaking, saying Elvis took leg shaking from us. It's like, really? Leg shaking? No, nobody thought to fucking do this? Black people came up with that? You telling me that? I'll even give you that. Let's say you came up with that, but where did that black dude learn how to do it? Didn't he watch some older black guy do it? But what, because he's the same color? He's not stealing, he's just carrying on the tradition. But if Elvis does it, oh, what the fuck? Now he's the biggest thief ever? That doesn't make any sense to me. She goes, no, you idiot, it's not about the leg shaking, okay? It's about, he appropriated a culture. He took all the music, he got all the money, got all the fame, he's called the king of it now, and he never gave a shit, not even a shout out. And I was like, all right. Fair enough. You made about 7 or 8 good points there that I can't refute. He appropriated a culture. I get it. You're right. She goes, fine, thank you. And I go, however, not for nothing, do I get mad at you when you get on a skateboard and you start going down the fucking street? Do I get all offended like, hey man, that's some white shit. Stop appropriating my culture, man. Some dirty white kid in Santa Monica came up with that, man. So she starts laughing. And I should have stopped there, but I'm a comedian, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a laugh. There's got to be a bigger laugh, so keep going, Bill. Let's come with another example. So I'm like, yeah, do I get mad at you when you fly from LA to New York in under 6 hours? And she just, yeah. She just stares at me. She's just like, that was fucked up. I was like, yeah, I know. It sounded good in my fucking head, and then it came out. I was just going for the laugh. And then she wouldn't let up. She's like, well, why is it fucked up? Why is it fucked up? So now I'm back in the classroom. And I'm like, because if historically speaking, black people enjoyed the same amount of freedom and privilege, they would have had the money and the time to figure out how to fly too. And she goes, that's right. And I go, however, your music would have suffered. Walking around with that cul-de-sac, it really is going to be okay, and come up with that painful, beautiful music. You can't do that. Next thing you know, you're clapping on the fucking downbeat, you're playing a washboard, right? James Brown is line dancing, all goes out the window. So you got to make a choice. Either you learn how to fly and your music sucks.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr. How are ya?
Yeah, so I have learned a lot about myself over the last few years, you know what I mean? I had to quit drinking, you know? I never thought I'd have a problem with that shit, you know? Because when I grew up, right, you know, the shit was so different when we were growing up. Like, even like gay people. Like, the way it was thought was there was like 3 gay people in Massachusetts and the rest of them were in San Francisco, right? Everything was fucked up, right? Like addiction, it was either you have the addictive gene or you don't. And it's like, no. What I kind of learned is fucking everything is sort of a spectrum, right? Not just autism, you know? I'm sick of words getting hijacked, all right? When I was a kid, like the spectrum was the color spectrum. Dr. J and the 76ers played in an arena called the Spectrum, right? So the first time somebody said to me, hey, my kid's on the spectrum, I'm thinking, no, he isn't. They tore that shit down in 2010. I don't know what you're talking about. You need to elaborate. Just say he has autism so I can fucking catch up, all right? I don't speak the jargon here. So I think everything is like a spectrum. Okay, well, we'll start with my drinking, right? So when I was growing up, it was either you are a fucking alkie or you aren't, and it isn't. Okay? There's all of this. So we'll say this right here is full-on addiction. This is literally sucking dick behind a donut shop, 11:30 in the morning on a Tuesday for a fucking 12-pack. Not even a case, a 12-pack in jean shorts and a half shirt, right? And then this over here, this is like a teetotaler. Like, I tried alcohol, I didn't like it. It just, I've always been into books, That's been my drugs, I like a good book, right? And I'll tell you, when you see me reading that book, I am in that book, and I am taking that journey, right? But there's all fucking this. Like, my drinking got, like, all the way... I realized I couldn't have it in the house. That's what it was. I just, like, consumed it, and then I got all the way to, like, right here, right? I mean, I wasn't sucking dick, but the donut shop was over the horizon. The donut shop was in view. And I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking stop. But then, so then I thought I was an alcoholic, so I went to, like, an AA meeting, and the people were telling their stories. And after a couple people sharing, I was just going like, all right, I drink, but these people, Jesus Christ. I mean, they were animals. Yellow fingers, still smoking, chowing down pastries. And they're like, Bill, would you like to go up and share some of your stories? I was like, I can't fucking follow that. I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, Missing teeth and selling his ass in the street. I can't follow that, right? But there was something going on, so I just realized, I can't have this shit in the house. It's in the house, I'm gonna fucking consume it. Alcohol, even cookies. I tell my wife, get the cookies out of the fucking house, especially Oreos. I'm gonna eat a whole fucking sleeve. And she says, well, why can't you just eat one? It's like, do you even pay attention to who you're married to? I can't. I'll eat the whole fucking sleeve, and then I won't even brush my teeth. So I'll have that sugar morphine drip, like, coming down the back of my throat, and I'll have these crazy fucking Keebler Elf dreams or whatever. Get it out of the fucking house. That's what I need to do, right? That's what I learned. Like, I have no desire to do heroin whatsoever. However, if it was in my house long enough and the right set of circumstances came along, maybe I talked to my dad that day on the phone, tried to get a fucking word in. Maybe there, you know what? Maybe I'll fucking... We'll see what this is all about, I'll use one of those spoons that went down the garbage disposal. No one will give a shit. I'll light it up. I'll nod off in the living room. Fall on the L-shaped couch, So, whatever. I have learned that. I've learned a lot of things in life, Like, here's one I learned. There's a very small window in life to beat the shit out of your dad. You think you got a lot more time than you do. You don't. It's sort of like ages 15 to about 17, If you try to do it before 15, you're not man enough to get the job done, and then you lose, and then he just psychologically has the advantage. But if you do it after 17, now you're just beating up an old man, You see his anchor tattoo, you're like, fuck, he was in the Navy. Jesus Christ, I'm beating up a veteran. Oh, man, I feel like a piece of shit here, All right, here's another one for you. I didn't think I was homophobic, right? I didn't. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying I didn't think I was. No, because I didn't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem, them getting married or any of that shit. And I thought it was totally natural. I was just like, that's just like how you're born. And when people would be like, oh, no, it's a choice. They're choosing to be gay. I love when somebody said that. Okay, let's say it's a choice. Then that would mean being straight is a choice, right? So that would mean that you, at some point, hypothetically, had a dick and a pussy on the table and had a choice to make, right? You were sitting there, all right, which way am I going to go? Well, let's see. This one hurts more, but I get to keep my house. And then this one over here feels amazing, but everything seems to disappear down into it. I mean, it's a coin flip. As far as I'm concerned, it's a coin flip. Straight, hey, Geronimo, right? So I found out I was homophobic when I fucked up my back, and I went into this massage parlor to have somebody work on me, and they said, this is your first time here? I said, yeah. They go, all right, do you prefer a male or a female masseuse? And I, recoiled, like, Like, I want a woman. What the fuck are you asking me? I don't want some man. I didn't even picture a man. I just saw a male arm from here down to here with black hair with, grease on it just coming up my back, going, okay, just breathe. And like, it feels better. You fixed it. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, so like, I like just the image of that. I like fucking recoiled. And I was almost like defensive. I was like, no, I want a woman, right? And then, you know, the way I look, in my age, I look like some creep that was looking for a fucking happy ending. You know, you can't be in there like, no matter how I said it, it came off like, yeah, I want a woman. I want a thing. It's like a gay coming. You know? Yeah, thinking I'm looking for a happy ending, you know, which I wasn't. But, you know, I will say I do have issue with them calling it a full body massage. It's like, it's not a full body massage. It's everything but. You know what I mean? And then it's weird. Then you walk out of there, your whole body's relaxed, and you're just dragging your nuts down the fucking street. And that doesn't feel, it feels weird. And I know what you guys are thinking. You probably think, oh, Bill, why don't you just rub one out before you go to the masseuse? It's like, because I won't make the appointment, all right? I'm going to fall asleep upright in the chair, and then my neck's going to be fucked up and my back. Now I got two problems. It would be great if they legalized it, though. You know what I mean? It'd be fantastic. You just have like a regular masseuse in there. You know, you got to have the real masseuse at the beginning, right? Because whores don't give a good back rub, you know? A real masseuse gives an incredible back rub, but a terrible hand job, like most women. Terrible hand job. Most women, terrible fucking hand job. Not even trying to get better at it either, by the way. Like the skill set. Like, you ever get this one, the 3 fingertips? Do you ever just get this? It's like, what are we doing here? Are we waiting for the next lunar eclipse? Is there, I never thought I'd say this. This is just fucking annoying. You're just like annoying. Why don't you just flick the head of my fucking dick while you're at it? What are you doing? All right? You're supposed to be simulating penetration. All right? More pressure going down, less pressure going up. Add a twist. Add a twist. It'll be over in 18 seconds. No guy has ever had a woman helicoptering up and down his fucking dick. It's going to be over immediately. Right? Oh, it'd be fantastic. I would run a massage parlor like that, like a baseball manager. I'd have the real masseuse go in, eat up about 8 innings, and then I take the lube. All right, you're done. You did a great job. Then you bring in the lefty. All right, let's get in here, right? And she comes in, gives you a hand job better than 90% of the blow jobs you ever got in your life. Then you walk out of there, your body's loose, your balls are empty, you can hear your wife's voice again, and everything's good. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, going like, I don't understand, how come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, oh, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass on that gig. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like, one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. Well, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I got to like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I got to go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the fuck do I gotta stay in the vault? No, that's my point, man. Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch. Little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I wanna go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make what I make when the boat sinks, you better be standing right there next to me, listen to that guy play the cello. Then you get the corner office. You get all the benefits or whatever. So anyways, I was watching George Bush today, man. That guy scares the shit out of me. No, not because like all that political stuff. He's just like too into Jesus for me. I get uncomfortable with that. When people get like overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind. I don't mind when like black people get really into Jesus, though, you know? Because like somehow like the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when like white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden like shit catches on fire. People start dying, somebody says they're Jesus, and they try to fuck every chick in the compound. Then the FBI's got the place surrounded, that tank comes in shooting the flames out the front. And I'm not saying white dudes are any more crazier than black dudes, it's just that nobody's watching us. That's the problem. That's too much freedom. It's kind of like living alone, you know, that same kind of fucked up freedom. You ever feel when you live alone, you like slowly go crazy? You know, because you got too much freedom, because everybody does crazy shit. But when you live alone and start doing something crazy, there's nobody there to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What is wrong with you? What is that? Put it down. My girl's actually, she's really like religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there? That's just some dude. And people are like, no, that's a special guy. No, it isn't. It isn't. He didn't like levitate down from the ceiling like, oh, just white light around him. Why would you listen to another human being tell you where you're going to go when you die? It's just like, dude, have you ever been dead? No. Great. So wouldn't it be safe to assume that you wouldn't have the slightest fucking idea what you're talking about? Yeah, you're making it up. You're making the shit up. You're not fooling me with the robes and the candles, speaking in Old English. He said it under you. Shut the fuck up. You don't talk like that. You're just some guy. Your name's Jerry. You played soccer. You got your ass kicked in gym class. And now you're doing this. It's nice to be here. I'm at that age where everybody I know is getting married. Let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? You know what I mean? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the shitter, right? If you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, fuck that, I'm not going. Like, I don't like those odds. I have a 75% chance of splatting on the ground. But there's something about getting married. People just have to do it, right? They're just like, is this the line to lose half my shit? Awesome. This is gonna be great. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I'm just not compatible with them. No, they got too much energy for me. You notice I said they always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They
just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $52 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, you know, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. I was dating this girl recently. She was like really into like women's issues, you know? Because women always go on TV, you know, they say all they want is be treated exactly like guys. But if you listen to them, they don't. All they want is the good shit of being a guy. They're cherry picking. They look at a guy's life like it's like a buffet, right? Like you just can start picking out stuff, like same amount an hour, we'll take some of that. Pay for the movie, fuck that. You can keep that one, I don't like that one. This is nice, that's yucky, that's icky. Hey, come on, people, you can't choose. This girl gives me shit. She goes, well, why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. That's why I get the $1 more an hour. Oh, it's $1 an hour surcharge. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out. Like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? You think I want to stay in the vault? Those 20 other sweaty guys sharing a bag of peanuts, you know? Praying to God I'm not the hostage who gets dragged out by the psycho with a gun to my head as he's asking the cops for a helicopter. Which I know he's not going to get, right? I know he's not getting the helicopter. So now I got to make idle conversation with the 38 to my head going, dude, go for a rent-a-car. I think you should go for the rent-a-car. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. No, that's why I hated that movie, the Titanic. Every girl I meet thinks that movie's romantic. It's irritating. I was like, that was really romantic, don't you think? It's like, no! It's a fucking horror film. And they're always like, why? I'm like, because all the guys die. See, you're watching it trying to relate, going, who would I be? You'd be that chick floating away in the big piece of luggage, right? I'm watching it going, who would I be? I'd be that dude when, like, the boat breaks in half, that dude who, like, falls straight down and bangs off the shit and goes in the water. That's who I'd be. I'd be wearing a tuxedo, not because I wanted to, but you wanted to dress up that night, right? I'd be falling the whole way down going, I should have fucked that chick in first class. All right, listen, I'm out of time. You guys are a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know. But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever? Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one! Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. You know this, I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I got bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire. They don't just drive away afterwards. They sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist. They should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky? Really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? You know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker. Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out. I'll bring my out. Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed. This desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call them a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that one. That's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is, my big fear in life is to be that dude who grows old, you know, grows old alone, has like that basement apartment, just screaming up at the younger couple, turn it down! That isn't music! So I noticed that anytime she was losing a fight, out of nowhere, she'd just be like, well, that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right. What happened? So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Maybe because you got a little dick. Just let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. Okay? It's over. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. All right? Yes. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory. Oh, so I've learned. I finally learned to, like, keep my cool.